Even though it's a risk and I don't know what's on the other side, I'm going to make a bet on myself.
I guess I'm kind of looking at this as a sort of rebirth opportunity.
I just quit my job and flew to Scotland with no money or plans or friends.
This is day one of me exercising every day.
I've really gone and done it now.
It's a bonus farm.
Turned in my 2-week notice. I just took the leap.
Yeah, I'm really liking how my hair's been going.
I feel like we're on the verge of a renaissance.
They say to do what you love, and I love to dance.
Oh my God! I'm proud of you!
I can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
Having any fun yet?
Carnival is back. Rio is back.
This is dedicated to the disabled community. This is our moment.
I wanted other women and other people of color to know it is possible.
Sydney McLaughlin, there is no stopping her. That's a world record.
When I was a little girl, all I wanted to see was me in the media.
She's black.
Change has become a constant. The way we embrace it defines our future.
I've never seen this kind of courage. They're fighting with all they have.
Slava Ukraini!
The word freedom right now means a lot for us.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
You know, I call it evolution.
This is what believing looks like. And don't you ever, ever give up on you.
Change has become a constant. The way we embrace it defines our future. I'm sorry, I just offended all of my British friends as I butchered the beautiful British accent of Queen Elizabeth. But I gotta be honest, I love those Google year in search videos. This one, obviously, from 2022. And it's just so fun to watch it. Like, as a family, we typically watch it every year together. And it's like, you get chills, it's inspiring. It's also very reflective. And I don't know if you ever noticed this, but for me, it's like you watch that video and you're reflecting on the past year, but then you naturally start thinking about what's next, like the new year, and how you're going to learn from that. And it's so interesting. It's like that one saying where, you know, if you don't learn from the past, right? If you don't learn from the things that have happened in the past, you're kind of doomed to repeat them in the future. And typically that's, you know, for better or worse. So, but either way, Happy New Year. 2023. It is great to be here with all of you. And I really did love that quote from Queen Elizabeth. It's like, that one stuck out for me, right? And actually, I have a little bit of an issue with the statement because change hasn't become a constant. It is a constant. You think about our lives, it's just one big change, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Like, we're always changing. It's just part of the human experience. But the way that we embrace change, that I agree with. That definitely defines our future. And so I wanted to spend a couple minutes in this new year kind of talking about our future as a church, our vision for our church in 2023. But I feel like you guys have heard me preach a lot, particularly at the end of the year, like Christmas Eve and the whole thing. So I'm not preaching today. We're just having a conversation. We got some coffee. We're chilling out together. It's the first of the year. I'm going to invite some friends from our leadership team who are going to come and share a little bit of their vision for our church as well. But I thought we'd kind of change up the conversation together. And so this first day of the new year, I want to talk a little bit personally about what's some of my vision for 2023. And, you know, as I was thinking about that leading up to today and having our conversation together, I was thinking about what is our church going to look like 10 years from now? So think with me now, it's New Year's Day 2033, right? I'm no longer 51, I'm 61, and this isn't looking so good. Not that it was looking good to begin with, but, but still, like what's our church gonna look like then? And I wish I had a clearer picture to tell you, but I wanna share you what my heart is, my vision for our church 10 years from now, is that we're a church that's made up of people that really understand what it means to have a personal relationship with Jesus, and that has become just a normal part of their lives. So we have a church full of those type of people. And for me, there's a lot of different ways you can, 3 steps to do this or that, but the bottom line is one of the best ways to develop your relationship with Christ is just to spend time with them. Just to read the Bible. And so for me, a long time ago, having tried lots of other different ways and shortcuts to have a deep relationship with Christ, I finally just gave in and started reading His Word. It's amazing. It deepened my relationship. That change made an impact in my future. And so for me, one of my goals in life now, and I think I've been doing this for 5 or 10 years, is I try to read through the Bible every year. And it has a massive impact on my daily life as I go through the year. And so one of my massive goals for our church is in 10 years, what if we read through the entire Bible? What if we did that together? I think that would be amazing. Now, as I say that, there's some books where I'm I don't even know how to preach for 3 or 4 weeks on a book like that. I would be bored. So, but you get what the vision is, right? The idea is that we're all spending time reading God's Word together. And so my vision just for 2023 is this. What are some small steps that we can take now that can help us change as we try to reach toward that future vision? And so 2 things that we're specifically doing in 2023 is reading through 2 books. The first is going to be the book of Exodus. It's the second book in the Old Testament, and we're going to start reading that book together, the book of Exodus, on January 8th. So that's a week from today. We'll be back in person, and I think it's going to be fun. And the name of the series is called Exodus, Movement of Jah People. And you probably don't recognize that because I can't sing very well. But actually, Bob Marley and his band, in 1977, they wrote a book called Exodus. And actually was based on the story of the Israelites in the Bible. God's chosen people moving away or trying to move away from slavery, which is exactly what Bob Marley at the time was going through as Jamaica was fighting for its democracy from the British, as a British colony. And so it's going to be a fun way for us kicking off the year to dive in and read together a book of the Bible. So that's January. We've already put together some fun tools through the YouVersion app. It's the Bible app. You've heard me talk about that before, and so we're going to show you how to do that. We have our own community church YouVersion app that we can read along together. I think it'll be really fun for us to do. So that's January. The second thing is going to be later on in the year, and we are going to be doing a sermon series called Lady Wisdom, which is based on the book, also in the Old Testament, of Proverbs. And, you've heard about Lady Wisdom. What does she say about such and such? Well, Lady Wisdom actually is based upon the book of Proverbs. There's 31 chapters. And what's great is the preaching during that series is going to be from ladies, not from men. And so I'm really looking forward for us as a church reading through that book together, but also learning from and being led by women through the book of Proverbs that Solomon wrote, one of the wisest books ever to be written. So that's 2 ways that I want to, or the vision that I have for our church in the area of growing deeper in our relationship with Jesus in 2023. But that's just kind of my little area, my little thing. And so I want to invite some other people from our leadership team to join me. I'm going to invite Amanda Garcia to come join us. Many of you know Amanda. She leads our kid ministry here at the community church. I think a lot of families probably know you, Amanda, as Miss Amanda.
Yes.
Right? And so welcome to the community church coffee cafe.
Thank you for having me.
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Sure, I would love so.
Well, how would you like that, Amanda?
I like it with 1 sugar.
All right,
please.
1 sugar.
That's not too much.
Well, if you know Amanda at all, you know that she represents actually a very important demographic for our church. She is kind of a hybrid, to use a relevant term, right? But she's a millennial, Gen Z, kind of like a mixture of that.
Kind of a mix of both,
Awesome.
I would say.
Good. Well, we're really thankful to have, your age demographic represented so well, particularly in leadership. And so you've done a tremendous job in the area of kids ministry at our church. Did you want coffee with that? I mean,
sugar? Yes.
Sugar, no cream?
No, thank you.
Okay, great. Tremendous job. Our kids ministry has grown by almost 200% in a year and a half, which is amazing. It's awesome to see little families with kids tearing up the church on Sunday.
It's been a great experience, and our volunteers on our kids ministry team have been amazing. They've been with us from the start since last September, so it's been truly a great experience.
Yes, thank you for our kids ministry team. You do such an incredible job. But I know, Amanda, there's more for you, like your vision for our church in this area, and I love that you're leading us in this way, is to kind of build on that. So maybe you could share a little bit of your vision for moving beyond just kind of birth through 5th grade, which is what kids ministry is now, to what you see coming next.
Sure. So my vision for the youth of our community, so middle school to high school, is to create a space where they can come serve locally, make an impact, and connect with their peers while growing in their faith, hopefully. So that's really exciting, and that's what we plan to do this next year.
Awesome. Well, I know that there are a growing number of families here at our church who are really interested in having opportunities for their teens or preteens to be able to, connect and have a safe space at church, to be able to grow in their faith.
Definitely.
What was that like that for you growing up?
For me, when I think back, I would have loved a place where I had friends going to, and I made relationships with other kids my age while serving my community and making an impact. So that's why my focus really this upcoming year will be reaching our middle school and high school families, kids. We've had a great response from all of our events, our kids camp, and connecting with the teens and seeing what they want to do. So with this next year, we'll definitely be doing more local service projects, maybe some study nights
like
if they want.
Studying for school?
Yes.
Awesome.
Just something casual.
Yeah, totally.
Something for everybody, and that's our goal here, and hopefully we'll get together to do a trip, maybe to another community in a different state.
Like a missions trip type thing?
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
So it's really exciting, and we'll definitely be on our way with that soon.
Good. Well, Amanda, I know I speak for everyone in our church community, but we're so grateful for your leadership. Your leadership is infectious in a positive way, and so thank you for serving here at the community church, for leading here, and for creating a space particularly for young families, and now families with older kids. So thanks so much.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, our next contestant, or our next conversation, really, I should say, is someone who I chatted with recently last year. Her name is Karen Schonlin. And Karen, first of all, thank you for joining us. May I get you a cup of coffee?
No, thank you, but do you have something a little stronger?
Well, I don't think so, but I'll check later afterwards. Yeah, right, check. Awesome. Caught me off guard. I like that. But as many of you know, Karen has a beautiful and big smile. But the only thing that's bigger than Karen's warm smile is her heart. We love her heart. And so, Karen, one of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you about in terms of your vision is like that big heart of yours. What is that big heart vision for our church in the area of serving locally in our community?
Well, let's see. We just finished celebrating Christmas, right? And so for Christmas, the big question is, what would you like for Christmas? And every year, I give my family the same answer, the gift of time. There is nothing better than to spend time with the ones we love, our family, our friends, our church family. It's just the greatest gift we can give someone. It's precious. It's builds memories, and they live in our hearts forever.
Yeah.
And speaking of those hearts, the best way I always felt was to feel good about yourself was to do something for others. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we did that's the way we ended 2022, right?
Yes, we
were
did,
doing
in a
that
big way.
with the
Yes.
Market Street Mission.
Mission, yes.
And so, I mean, you know better than I do, but it seemed like we had an incredible response.
It was amazing. So I would have to say my favorite part of the Christmas season was delivering the gifts to the Market Street Mission men. Our church family was so generous. And in only a week's time, I mean, it was just amazing. You had to see the smiles on these men's faces because they helped unload my car.
Really?
And bring the the bags into the mission. I mean, talk about, bringing hope, bringing joy. It's the best feeling. It really is.
It really is.
Yeah, it
and
really
it
is.
sounds so cliche, like it's better to give than it is to receive.
Always.
It's actually biblical.
Yes.
But like when you actually do it, you feel like that divine interaction.
It's my favorite part of Christmas, honestly.
Yeah.
Really.
It's great. So speaking of Market Street Mission, I think we have a lot of our people, we're still defining and understanding who they are.
Right.
And what they do. And so we've identified them as our local partnership. But tell us more just about the Market Street Mission.
Well, the Market Street Mission has been changing the lives of those who are homeless, who are poor, and particularly struggling with addiction since 1889.
Oh my gosh, that's like 140 years.
Yeah.
That's like 5 of your lifetime.
Hey, you're very funny. Thank you. You made my day.
And it's in Morristown, New Jersey.
It's in Morristown, New Jersey.
Right.
Yes. They do have other locations now.
Okay,
one up in
really?
Sussex.
Okay.
And they opened up one down in Asbury Park.
Gotcha.
So they are really spreading the word. They are
it's
spreading
so neat to see
God's
that.
word.
I was telling you, I was driving on Route 287, and I drove one past one of our trucks. I'm like, hey, we're partnering with you guys.
Yes, we are partnering
And the guy
with them.
driving was like, why are you talking to me? But so specifically, when we think about 2023, what are some of the ways that we're actually going to be serving alongside with and for the Market Street Mission?
Well, first up, in February, we are going to host an ice cream social. Yes, an ice cream social in February when it's very cold out.
Best time of year.
However, these men, this will be a sweet treat for them because they never get ice cream and they really love ice cream. So that's first up.
Okay.
But there'll be many opportunities throughout the year for all ages to serve. And that could be, okay, we can get a group together and get a tour, which would be one, they'd love to have us.
Yeah.
And then we can listen to some of the residents give their testimonies, which would be very heartfelt and touching.
Yeah.
We can write letters of encouragement throughout the year.
Really?
Yes, that's giving them hope, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Showing them we believe in them.
Oh, you're giving me good ideas for action items out of sermons.
Oh,
this is
we
great.
are,
I love
yes.
It.
There's so many. We could run a food drive, a coat drive.
Yeah.
They have in July, a 5K run, so we can help volunteer in any way they may need us. But, next year we'll talk about that together, the Community Church and Market Street Mission.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for using your gifts, your abilities here, particularly your big heart.
Thank you.
Because it's changing our church, and it's also changing the lives of the people that we're impacting. And so we're so grateful because you really pushed us in this area, and I love what's happening with it. And so, Karen, thanks so much.
You're welcome. We have many big hearts in this community church, and,
We do.
we all need to spread a little kindness these days.
Yeah, that's so true.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Well, guys, as you can tell, right? I mean, we have some really special people here as part of our church. And at the end of the day, is that not what makes a healthy spiritual community? It's the people. It's the totality of the gifts and the personalities of our spiritual community that defines who we are and how we act and how we try to follow Jesus. And so I just love that as our church is growing and developing, as we're stepping into this new year, 2023, that more and more of our people are using their gifts to impact our church and the community that we reside in. And so that's why I'm excited to invite our third conversation with Mr. Cornwell, as I like to call him. So, Happy New Year, sir. Many of you don't know this, but John really plays a very unique and important role here at the church. And so Mr. Cornwell really serves as our executive director. And so for me, I focus on like our discipleship, talking a lot, those type of things, you know, being in our community. But John really does the hard work of focusing on like the operations of our church and the finances and the staffing and all those things that go into it. And so I really appreciate you doing that, because I'm really just not that good at it, and you're great at it.
Well, thanks, Pastor. Are you going to offer me a cup of coffee or what?
You know what? I would like to serve you
you
some
offered
coffee.
Amanda one.
Right. How do you like your coffee?
Black would be good.
Black, the way that God made it. Well, this was Amanda. She didn't drink any. So, you know, some of you don't know this, although if you were watching the message that we did last year from Haiti, no sugar, right?
No sugar.
No sugar.
Thanks.
You're sweet enough. But if you were watching that service that we had the privilege of doing from Haiti, you got to learn a little bit about Cheerful Heart Mission. And Cheerful Heart Mission really is the vision. You want to talk about change is a constant, and how we embrace it defines our future. Well, 15 years ago, John and his wife Carol had a vision to serve the island of Hispaniola. And that is Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And what I love, as just because they're naturally part of our church, that we have been able to get involved with that, and very specifically have developed a church partnership in Tillery, Haiti. And so, John, if you could tell us some more of your vision for the relationship and the partnership between our church here in Kinnelon, New Jersey, and their church and community in Tillery, Haiti, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of similarities between those two communities, right?
A few.
More than you think.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I have a tale of two cities. One of it is Kinnelon, New Jersey, and the other is Tillery, Haiti. And it is quite coincidental, actually, the similarities. So the state of New Jersey has about 10 million people, population. Haiti has about 10 million people.
Wow.
The state of New Jersey has about 10,000 square miles of area, and it's just the same as Haiti. So you have a population density of about 1,000 people per square mile, which is a little surprising. So people who live in New Jersey, you look around and you feel it feels similar to Haiti, of course. And then you look at Kinnelon and the little community of Tillery, it has about the same population. We're at about 10,000 people.
Wow.
You know, quite similar.
It's almost like it's more than just a coincidence.
It is a really odd coincidence, isn't it? It
Yeah.
certainly is. It might be a God thing.
I think you're right.
But you know, for all the common parts of the two, there are a lot of differences as well. For one thing, Haiti has a lot more sunshine this time of the year than we do. So it's a little warmer down there, you know, certainly.
Yeah.
But you look at the other differences, and they're stark. When you think about it, there are fewer jobs, there are fewer hospitals, there are fewer doctors, there are fewer dentists, there are fewer schools, much less opportunity there. The society itself is difficult to wrestle with on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And, you know, it sounds a little strange, but there are even fewer bathrooms, which has a huge impact on public health because of that. So the biggest difference, I think, really is in the area of income difference. Kinnelon's a very wealthy town, as you know, and the average income in Kinnelon is about $400 per day.
Wow.
In Kinnelon. If you go to Haiti, it's $2, $3, $4 per day. It's 100 times different in Tillery than it is in Kinnelon. It's just a stark difference. And when you go there and see this, it's evident as soon as you cross the border from the Dominican Republic into Tillery.
It's startling, actually, right?
It is. It's shocking. It's shocking when the first time you go there. Actually, every time you go there and see it. So Carol and I have been working in Haiti for about 15 years, and with Cheerful Heart Mission. And as you mentioned, the Cheerful Heart Mission sort of grew out of the community church. So Greg and Pam Raklowski are a couple of the founding members of the mission, and so is Jan Tracy, members, the founding members of the mission itself. And so we've undertaken projects such as a sanitation mission. We put in 2,500 latrines, which made a huge difference in public health and elimination of cholera in the 3 communities that we work in. We have the Cheerful Heart Music Education Mission. We have a couple hundred kids in that program every time we go down. Plus we have an ongoing school there, which we have over 80 kids that are in the school every week. And then, of course, we have the dental mission. And we've been running the dental mission for 10 years. We've treated about 7,000 patients.
Wow.
And it's made a remarkable difference in the general health of that community. So I get a lot of questions that people ask why do you do this? Why do you go to Haiti? You know, it's like, it's hopeless, right?
Yeah.
And it's really an easy question to answer because it's what the Bible tells us. It's what Jesus tells us. Yeah. Jesus tells us very clearly we're to take care of the poor. We're to take care of the sick. We're to care for those who are much less fortunate, right? We're supposed to watch over the widows and the orphans. And so it's really... It's just a strong message from the Bible, especially from the New Testament, especially from Jesus, as to why we go down there so often. And part of what Jesus commented also is to care for your neighbors. And when you stop and think about it, the people in Haiti are our neighbors. You think back to Katrina and New Orleans and how the United States rallied to help the people in New Orleans. Well, do you know that the flight time from New Jersey to New Orleans is the same as the flight time from New Jersey to Port-au-Prince?
Wow.
So you think, oh, well, Haiti is halfway around the world, but it's not. It's really in our same neighborhood. It's only 3.5-hour flight away. So they are our neighbors, and we should be caring for the people in Haiti just as we're caring for other people in the United States. So you ask a question about what's my hope for 2023? And I think it's to have, for the community church to have a closer relationship with our church partners in Haiti and in the Dominican Republic and work more closely together and to understand the needs that they have and how we might be able to help. Some of our past programs of the church to our church partner there have been such as the Bible Project, where we gave away hundreds of Bibles in Haitian Creole, you know, which the people there were so happy to receive these Bibles because they didn't really have them, you know. And such as our food project that we put together because food security is a huge issue, especially right now in Haiti. And then the program where we had educational support where we provided benches and blackboards and even pencil sharpeners there. And when you go see the local schools, you'll find there really aren't any books. There's not even any paper there to speak of. It's just writing on old blackboards.
And not to interrupt you, even though I'm going to, is
some my coffee.
That's your coffee.
Okay,
I drank my own. But when we were there, you know, in November, I think that was my favorite stop that we did, which was visiting that school and seeing the blackboards that so many of you people gave money towards. Like to see them, they weren't just on the wall; they were written on. Right, they were teaching from them. The benches that people invested in having, you know, made locally were there and used. And you know, I remember you speaking to us there. You got emotional, right? And it just spoke to like, oh my gosh, we're making a difference in the name of Jesus in the smallest of ways.
Sure, you'd be amazed the impact of just a few dollars and a few effort. In Haiti. I mean, you go back to the numbers earlier. At $400 per day here in Kinnelon and $4 a day, let's say, down in Haiti. Well, what if people here in Kinnelon just gave $4 of their $400 to help people? It would be unnoticed here, but it will double a person's income down there. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
So it does have quite an impact. And another part of that, to answer your question earlier about what's my hope for 23, my hope for 23 is that more people in the community church, more people in Kinnelon get personally involved in helping their neighbor. Now, whether that's in Haiti or whether that's down the street, you know, wherever it happens to be, but get personally involved in it. And maybe even go on a mission trip, because we're going to have some mission trips coming up this year.
Yeah.
And we'd like to invite people in the church to travel with us to see what it's actually like. It's very easy to be here in the United States because we have it so good. It is absolutely amazing what a wonderful standard of living, what a wonderful life we have here. And it's easy to sit around the table and talk to your friends and your family, have a glass of wine, and talk about the world problems. Yeah. Talk about poverty around the world. Oh, what can we do about it? It's so bad. You know, you're sitting there and you're reading a magazine and you come across a picture of a underprivileged child, and it's so easy. You just turn the page. Yeah, right. You go to the next page and there's an ad for a Mercedes. Yeah. Or you turn the page and there's an ad for the new best flavor from Starbucks at $7 per cup. Yeah. Right? So it's easy just to bypass it. You're watching television and an ad comes on for an organization to help starving children in the world. It's so easy to pick up the remote control and go, click, I'm back to the Giants football game. right? It's easy to just walk right by that. Probably. Yeah. But if you go on a mission trip and you go to Haiti, and you step out there, and all of a sudden that little girl that you saw on television is not on television anymore. She's standing right in front of you. And you can't take the remote control and go, oh, make her go away. Yeah, right? You can't turn the page and make that little boy disappear. Because you're no longer an observer of poverty as you are in the media up here. You're actually a participant. And when that happens, you can't forget it. You can't get it out of your mind. It is pretty amazing, really. So I would urge everyone at whatever opportunity they have to go to a third world country, to go to a developing nation, and see for yourself. And I guarantee you will change lives. You will change lives of the people that are there, and you'll also change lives of the people that are here, particularly your life. Yes. So that's my hope for the year. Yeah. Greater involvement with our partner church and greater involvement of the people here in causes such as we're working on in Haiti.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, John, I love that vision. And part of what I think our church has an opportunity to do is to be a light in the community, because there are people that live in Kinnelon, the greater Kinnelon area, who may not be ready to step into a church, but they would be willing to go on a trip, right, and serve. Sure. And so I truly believe in my heart of hearts that Kinnelon, New Jersey, and Tillery, Haiti actually could be better together. Because each of those has things that the other needs desperately.
Very true.
Right? And so I'm just so grateful that you guys, you and Carol said yes 15 years ago to being led by God's Spirit. And here we are getting to use that vision, right, to be able to engage our church in a deeper way in loving and serving others in the name of Christ. So thank you so much for your servant leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so grateful for all the people at the community church and their willingness to participate in programs such as this. And thank you very much, Pastor. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Okay.
Good. All right. Well, folks, as you can see, there's some exciting things happening in our church, some great vision for 2023. And I have one more person that I want to invite up to join us. You'll probably recognize her face, because if you are here weekly or watch online weekly, you'll see it every week. And that's Anna Murphy. She obviously leads our worship here and does an incredible job. One of the things that you don't know about Anna is that beyond just her musical talents, she's very creative. I call those people musos. Hopefully that's not a negative term. I think it might be, but it's meant as a compliment. But regardless, Anna actually, her creativity really adds so much to the planning of our services and our series and our outreach. And so it's really fun to get to partner with you, Anna. And so before we have you create a vibe with that little muso thing you do, the piano and stuff, I have a question for you in terms of, you have some exciting, actually, vision for our church in 2023 in terms of music. And so could you tell us more about it?
Yes, I would love to. My vision for 2023 is to expand the music ministry to allow more people to become involved. And the first way we're going to do that is to start a kids choir. So we're going to have a choir from ages 4 through 11. And we're going to have the choirs meet. We're trying to be respectful of everybody's very busy schedules. So we're going to meet before Easter and before Christmas.
Okay.
So children will be able to participate in Easter and Christmas services in 2023.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Very
So
excited.
for all you parents out there with younger kids, such a great opportunity. One question. I might be just above the cutoff at age 11, but I got some pretty good pipes.
It's how it's your age and your heart.
Well, then, awesome. Then maybe I could be part of it. But that's truly exciting. I love, I think all of us really enjoy when there's kids involved into the service, like everybody leans in, So that's great. I'm excited for that vision to get implemented in our church this year. But as we're kind of getting ready to close, I wanted to turn the table back on you a little bit. So we've been talking a little bit about ourselves and our vision for 2023, but what about you? Like, as we've been talking and sharing our hearts and things like that, what is a way that God's been speaking to you about 2023? And maybe it's a certain way to get involved here at the church, and that's great. Like, we'd love that. Part of the reason we're doing this is that you feel welcome and invited to be part of the team here, to use your gifts here and get involved in some of these areas that we're going to be focusing on in 2023. Or maybe it was something different. Actually, maybe it didn't have anything to do with our church. It just had to do with your personal relationship with Christ, or your community, or something just between you and your Heavenly Father. And so, in a moment, Anna's going to just sing for us, no lyrics, right? We're just having a conversation. She's creating an environment for all of us to be able to reflect. I don't know, maybe you're like the journaling type, but maybe there's a pen and paper close by and you want to jot a couple things down that you feel like God is speaking to you. But before she does that, I just want to read a couple verses. It's actually from the book of Exodus that we're going to be reading together starting next Sunday. And Moses was in the book of Exodus. He was writing down what God was saying to him about his chosen people, the Israelites, as he was going to lead them out of slavery. And Moses said this in chapter 3. He said, "Then the Lord said, I have observed the misery of my people in Egypt." So that's the Israelites in Egypt. "And have heard them crying out because of their oppressors." So God was responding to their struggle. He went on to say, God said this, "I know about their sufferings, and I have come down." You remember we talked a little bit about that in the incarnation over Christmas? "I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians." And here's the thing. He says, "and to bring them to a land full of milk and honey." That's the promised land that gets talked about a lot in the book of Exodus. But guys, don't miss that. You see, God is aware of our struggle and where we are in our lives. It is more for us. And He's inviting us into this idea of having a promised land here on earth. It's better than the existence that we have. It's not perfect, right? But it's better than what we have. But we can only experience that being in personal relationship with Jesus. And so I want you to just take these next couple minutes as the beauty of Anna's voice and her playing takes you to a place with your Heavenly Father that maybe you can't get when you're driving on Route 23 or Route 287. And so just take these next couple moments to reflect on your vision, what God's speaking to you for 2023.
God, I give you what I can today. The scattered ashes that I hid away, I lay it all at your feet. From the corner of my deepest shame, the empty places where I've worn your name, show me the love. I say I believe, or help me to lay it down. Oh Lord, I lay it down. Oh, let this be my Lord, with thee crucified, be lifted high as my kingdom falls once and for all, once and for all. There is victory in my Savior's loss, and the crimson flowing from the cross. Pour over me, pour over me. Yeah. Oh, let this be where I die, my Lord, with thee crucified, be lifted high as my kingdom falls once and for all, once and for all. Oh Lord, I'll lay it down. Oh Lord, I'll lay it down. Help me to lay it down. Oh Lord, I'll lay it down. Oh, let this be where I die, my Lord, with thee crucified, be lifted high as my kingdom falls once and for all, once and for all, once and for all, once and for all.
Well, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of another year. We thank you for the ways that you have provided and been faithful. God, for the ways that we've learned how to trust you, how to wrestle with our own faith, and with you in understanding or trying to understand why things happen or don't happen in our lives. And I thank you for the gift of community that you've provided around us, spiritual community, that we can share our struggles, our joys, our sorrows, our hopes, our vision for what you're leading us into. And we thank you for the community that you put us in. God, we thank you for Kinnelon. God, you put us here for a reason. And so I know that you'll help us to be able to be the light that you have called us to in this community, acknowledging that we don't have it all together ourselves. But we are trying to follow someone who does, and that's you. And so we thank you for the ways that you will change us this year, that we'll laugh and learn to love and share and be part of experiencing a little bit of the promised land when we choose to follow and trust in you in our lives. And so we thank you for the start of this new year together, and we look forward to your faithfulness as you'll lead us through. We pray this in your name. Amen. All right, well, hey, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. Happy 2023, and we hope to see you next Sunday in person or online as we kick off our Exodus Movement of Jah People series